definitely do it. It's the most life-changing thing ever because a lot of the tools that I'm learning at District C, sometimes I'm even applying it to like my actual class presentations or like projects I'm doing outside of school.
You all just wrapped up on your pitch event with DiffyQ. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. It was a very wonderful experience, as well as this being the last pitch event.
Definitely going into it, I was really unsure about how it would go because this company was definitely a challenge for us. And so I was like, oh, what is it going to be like? Is our solution actually going to be attractive to her? And once I was really nervous, we got up there, we started pitching, and I just felt so much better. I was like in my element, and it was so cool. And then now I'm just upset that it's all over.
No, I'm feeling great coming out of this pitch event. Our group probably had 2 or 3, I would say, really strong ideas as to what the solution should be. So coming out of the pitch event, I feel very confident, and I'm really happy that we chose the solution that we did.
Yeah, I feel like District C really helped a lot, and the culmination really, it was a great end.
You all are super special because at Research Triangle, you get to do 5 cycles of Teamship. So it wasn't just one time, but you did this 5 times over the course of the year. I'm curious to hear about, like, from cycle to cycle, what, if anything, was different? Like, was it the same thing each time, or was it different, and how so? Anybody have an answer that they'd like to share for that question?
I think everyone at the very beginning had very different styles of pitching. And after the first pitch event, I think we all saw which qualities everyone had best. So either presenting skills or like slide creation and stuff like that. And I think that helped us in the second cycle when making teams. Our teams were much more balanced. And we also saw what worked better in the presentations, and it helped make our presentations better as cycle to cycle went on.
I think also that a lot of the different business partners we had were like incredibly different. We started off with a small business that's local here, and then we moved on to Dell right after that, which is huge. So it was a big jump, but I know that cycle through cycle we kind of like built off each other, and like with our presentations we were able to like refine what we wanted on our slides because of like seeing all the other presentations.
Yeah, seeing these other presentations helped so much with because once somebody came up with some new idea, it was everyone's new idea in the next cycle.
I would say from cycle 1 to the 6th cycle, the thing that's changed the most for me, I struggled in the first cycle asking the right questions so that we can find the solution that I think would be most beneficial and most effective for the company that we're working with. So I would definitely say I've learned how to ask better questions, and it's helped me dig deeper so we can find solutions that are really appropriate for the problem that the company is facing.
So you all are hitting on this idea of through the 5 cycles, there being a sense of like the approach wasn't the same each time. So in what ways, thinking more personally, have each of you grown across like the 5 cycles that you've been able to experience?
I think confidence was a big improvement because, like, in the beginning, I was not confident. I was scared walking into the pitch event. I was too nervous. I really didn't know what to say. But over time, I kind of got in the groove. I was a better researcher. We were able to better help the businesses. So it was just an amazing experience.
I think my teamwork definitely improved from the very beginning. I think we all were a little it was our first cycle, it was the first world class together. We were kind of nervous with each other, but I think as it went on, we really melted in together, and our pitches became much more fluid as we got to know each other.
I think so too. Basically the same thing, but also like we did this thing at the beginning of class called Psych Safety, and honestly that helped me get to know like my classmates so much better, and I feel like I became friends with like almost everyone in the class, and it really helped me become a better teammate.
You guys actually brought up a really good point, which is that across the 5 cycles, you were working with different teams, so you were working with different people, and you were working with different business problems, right? So what would you say after 5 cycles and doing this work is like the secret sauce to effective collaborative problem solving? Like, what was the secret sauce that contributed to maybe your biggest successes in the last 5 cycles?
The biggest success was definitely just like noticing each other's strengths, but also challenging each other. And it was really just division of labor and making sure everyone had something to do and they knew what they were doing, and making sure the task you gave them was feasible for them as a person. And that just really helped like with your teammates and like making sure everyone got their work done. But it was also psych safety. We use that a lot, and that was just a great way to get to know each other and also find those strengths and weaknesses.
I would say our solo flights, when we go into our little habitats or whatever to figure out what solution we think would be best. I find that the solutions I've been most proud of have been components of everyone's own ideas combined into one solution. And that's not something that I would say my group did in the first few cycles. I would say in the first few cycles, we were pretty we were working a group, come up with a solution. That would be kind of it. But I would say all of us bringing a different component to a solution has made the solutions that I'm proudest of and that I think have been the best for the companies that we worked with as well.
And I know you're an extrovert too, so the fact that you said solo flight is mind-blowing.
Daniel, alone time, not talking.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
And like Sophia and Daniel said, the psych safety and the tools, they were super important, but I also want to add in the design process, because that I felt like was the backbone into everything we stepped into and was our guiding force. So that was one of, we had to understand the business, and each step we took just brought us closer to what the final product was.
Something that District C has believed for a while is you could throw a problem at a group of high school students and they'll put something together, and it'll be pretty decent, but the real magic happens when you're coached through that process, because then you have someone who's really challenging you and providing you with support that you need. So I'm curious to hear about what was the most beneficial or most beneficial thing that you got from your coach and sort of their support for you?
I can say definitely with this cycle, coming up with a solution was really hard because we really didn't understand what the company was until the very end. And so after we had all this information, and it was just trying to figure out what solution is going to best target everything we've learned. And so Ms. Adwani definitely helped us get through we had a bunch of different solutions that were maybe feasible, maybe not. In the long run, can a group of high schoolers make partnerships and deal with FERPA regulations? No. So Ms. Adwani basically said, okay, you're high schoolers, figure out what you can best solve. Not an easy one, but definitely one that your data backs up and your findings back up. And so that coaching definitely helped us as a group of high school students find something that was feasible and doable for a group of high schoolers, and then not just just a solution, making sure it was a good solution with enough information. So that really helps. Let's go next.
It sounds really simple, but I would say, and very obvious, but I would say Ms. Adwani telling us in the cycle at one point, just go back to the problem scoping document, because we've kind of gone off on a tangent, and everyone's ideas, spiral into this. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. What exactly is their problem? Referring back to that problem scoping document, and in some, depending how detailed the document is, it kind of goes into why they think something wasn't as successful as it could have been. So even touching up on that and not just the goal that they're trying to meet, I think has been very helpful for me.
Like you said, if you threw a problem at me, it would probably be solved, but there's probably going to be some missing puzzle pieces. And I think having Ms. Adwani as a coach really helped our group guide through that process. And I know multiple times she played the devil's advocate and was so have you guys thought about this? And we were oh shoot, that's probably something our business partner would have asked, and we completely would have missed it out, but it would have ended up being a essential step towards our final.
Or also us jumping to conclusions, which we did a lot.
That's true. We did jump into conclusions a lot.
So where did you get this information? We'd be we're just gonna come up with it. And she was okay, let's maybe not use that. Step back down the ladder of inference.
The ladder of inference.
Figure out where you're jumping to conclusions. Maybe go back a couple steps, figure it out. So that was definitely something that would have been a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you all had that experience. Working in teams over the course of 5 cycles, but also being supported in that by a coach who wants to give you that agency, but also gives you the grounding or support that you may need each step of the way. Okay, last question. What would you say to students who have not done Teamship? What would you tell them about Teamship? What would you say to them?
definitely do it. It's the most life-changing thing ever because a lot of the tools that I'm learning at District C, sometimes I'm even applying it to like my actual class presentations or like projects I'm doing outside of school, whether it be like at my robotics team or whatnot. But it's like really helpful knowing each tool and having that experience with even like dealing with real businesses. Yes.
One thing like I struggle a lot with in school is like, how is this going to apply to my real life? What am I going to do with this class? How is this going to affect me in the future? And with District C, that's never a question because I used to be so scared of presenting. I used to be so shaky and nervous, but now I'm confident and I know what I'm doing. And I would just say, have fun with it. You know, obviously take it seriously, but just remember, have fun with it. You're learning so much, and make sure that you're keep comfortable and just have fun with it.
I would say do it. Know your strengths. I even say know your weaker points. One thing I cannot do is talk and write at the same time. In this last cycle, I was forced to be the note taker, which served as a challenge. But it's a skill now I feel confident going into other classes with. I even have a teacher. At one point throughout the year, we were doing like a business like pitch for a different class. And he was like to me and my classmate, you guys are District C students. The bar is going to be set much higher for you. But even something as simple as having an agenda and like your APES presentation has served to be really helpful, for example. So even things as small as an agenda, I would say have been very beneficial. So there's so much you can pull from, being a part of a teamship. So I would say definitely do it.
I would say it's a good thing for everyone to do because especially when you grow up, you're going to have to work with teams. Wherever you work, you're always going to be interacting with others. So getting those early foundations when you're young will help you grow and become a better candidate for work when you're younger.
This was literally such a fun class. Like, I enjoyed it so much. And also, like, I know that working with all of these business partners and, like, actual businesses as a high schooler is, like, really valuable for the future.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most fun classes I've had in high school as a whole. And connecting with businesses that are doing it, and when they take you seriously, it makes it so much more valuable as an experience for everyone. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, that's fine.